the willingness to sacrifice all temporary experiences for truth. A talk with Unmani.
So, in my experience, there can be a longing for the truth. And with that longing for the truth, it seems that the longing has to be stronger than your desire to be free from pain. And I'll just say that again. The longing for the truth has to be stronger than your desire to be free from pain. Because if you're just trying to be free from pain and you're doing whatever you can to avoid suffering and discomfort, you will inevitably jump from one thing to the next that gives some temporary relief. Whether it's a practice, a teaching, whatever you can. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, whatever you can to provide some relief. And life is full of temporary experiences where you might have some relief for a while, but inevitably the longing or the pain of not finding yourself, not consciously acknowledging who you are, and the pain of separation, feeling separate from others, feeling separate from the world, goes on. So the willingness to sacrifice all temporary experiences for the sake of what is true. So seeing that all experiences come and go, come and go, come and go. But there is something that doesn't come and go. It's not even a something. Of course, all the words don't really say it. Your true nature, the awareness of it all, this is the only constant. So experiences of peace and love and expansion, these are beautiful experiences, but they're temporary. Just as an experience of pain and suffering, knowing that that is also temporary, you also know that it's not a big problem in a sense, although it may feel intense. It's not ultimate truth. So it can often be worse to, in a way, give up on your true nature than to suffer some pain for a while, painful experience. But that it seems to be like a tipping point, that it can be that you can be going along the spiritual path, jumping from one teaching, one experience to the next, one practice to the next, chasing beautiful experiences and running away from painful experiences for a while until it starts to get exhausting. You start to see for yourself that these experiences are temporary and that there's never any permanent relief. And you have to see it for yourself. And at some point, the exhaustion with this whole search and the chasing and the disillusionment with these temporary experiences and the hope that one day you might find a permanent experience becomes, you could just see through it all. Just fed up with chasing these temporary experiences. And you can see that it's hopeless. And that seems to be like the tipping point when you really start to lose hope that you'll ever arrive at a permanent, perfect experience, according to whatever idea you might have about that. And you really see for yourself in your direct experience. So it's not just a concept that you take on from someone else, but that you know it, you've experienced it, and you've become exhausted with chasing. Then it tips into a willingness to let go of all these experiences, to no longer chase these experiences, and to know for yourself that they're all coming and going in you as life itself. And then it becomes about living your love of truth, or your longing for the truth. So for perhaps a long way, a long time, it can be a longing for truth, as if truth is out there in the future. One day I will get it. And that leads you, you have to follow that, right? So that leads you to try this, try that, try this, try that, always with the hope or the longing that one day I'll get it. Then you realize that it's hopeless. But it's not that your longing disappears. You see through the hope, but the longing is something different to the hope. The hope is more mental dreams. The longing is like a call home from yourself to yourself. It's hard to really even describe it in words. It's a sense that something needs to be acknowledged here. Something that I'm not just this human. It's a sense of knowing that I would say you all have a sense of, otherwise you wouldn't even be here. So then it's no longer about a longing for. It's about living this longing now, in each moment. So then I like to change the word, because the word longing seems to be about a longing for one day. So if we change the word from longing to love of truth, then it's about living your love of truth in each moment. Being as honest as possible with yourself in each moment. Seeing that you are not what you think. And this leaves you with a wide open space. Knowing that all the thoughts and concepts and ideas that the mind comes up with is just a tool for living in the world, but not actually you. So then it leaves you with nothing to hold on to, no one to be. It leaves you very naked and alone as the only authority here. When you're not referring to your thoughts, there are no guidelines. How to live then? There are no answers to that question. You put one foot in front of the other, and you're not walking on any particular path. It's like you walk in air, nothing, you don't land anywhere. And in a way, you create life moment to moment from nothing. It's about living very courageously, because in each moment you're stepping into the unknown. Feeling it all. Being open to it all. Feeling your vulnerability. Feeling and sensing everybody's vulnerability. Knowing that you're not alone with this vulnerability, with not knowing how to live. And this automatically breaks down the barriers of separation, which is, of course, what you've been longing for. So when you feel so separate and alone, what is actually happening is that you're believing in your thoughts. You're believing, I'm located inside here, and the rest of the world is outside of me. And then, of course, there's a longing to connect and to merge and meet others. But when you don't believe your thoughts, all the barriers are open. The protection is gone. And I'm not saying that protection shouldn't be here. It's also natural that your thoughts and protection mechanisms will get touched depending on what's happening in your life and who you're meeting or what you're doing. But that you keep seeing it and keep seeing that it's just the thinking. It's just a mechanism playing out for this human in the world, because sometimes he or she needs to be protected in this world. We've all grown up in less than ideal circumstances, let's say. And we've learnt that the world is sometimes a scary place. So we've learnt that sometimes we need protection. So I'm not suggesting that you should try to tear down all your protection mechanisms, but that you keep seeing them for what they are. And just that brings so much freedom. Because as soon as you see it for what it is, then you're automatically not identified with it.
That courage comes from that not knowing. The courage to acknowledge what is really here. Not knowing has been believed to be a weakness, but it's a well